Hello and welcome to the Longines Global Champions Tour here in Shanghai in China, returning for a second year to this amazing event that literally takes us across the world. And speaking of the world, I'm delighted to be joined by two of the top riders in the world, former world number one and back to number one, Scott Brash and Ben Maher. Delighted to have the two of you here. Scott, congratulations, as we saw yesterday, back to world number one.
Yeah, it's nice to be there, and yeah, we'll see. The horses are jumping well, so it's great to be back at number one.
Well, a very good start to the year from you, Ben, as well from your point of view, really building a new string this season. I mean, you had a very good run in Madrid.
Yeah, some classes were good in Madrid, some weren't, but a whole bunch of new horses, two very new horses here this week, and hoping to build over the next few months and come back up the rankings again.
Absolutely. Ben, from your point of view, you've been to shows here in China before, you've been out to Beijing and some of the competitions on borrowed horses. What's the sport like over here? How's it developing?
I think it's developing slowly. Probably going to take 5-10 years before it can come up to the same level as European. There's a number of riders over here currently and sponsors getting very interested in trying to help develop the sport by bringing European riders over here. Obviously this show really helps them see where they have to go and where they have to come to, and it's always great to come back.
And in terms of your point of view, first time here in Shanghai, what are your first thoughts? Of course we're still waiting for our first class, but first thoughts on the site here.
Yeah, it's very nice, horse friendly, a lot of space. Still pretty tired from the flight to be honest, but the horses seem fit and we're hoping for a good week.
Well, Scott, you're about 24 hours ahead of sleep on him from that point of view. In terms of everything we've got here, I mean, the horses have generally travelled well. Everything's good in terms of facilities and what to look forward to in terms of top sport.
Yeah, I must say the organisers do a fantastic job here. All the horses flew excellent, and it's a long flight, but they all look very fit and healthy, and they've been out for a few days and got used to the time zone. So no, all the horses are good, and I think we're in for top sport this week, and it should be good for everyone to watch.
Well, in terms of resetting this year, I mean, you finished last year champion for a second time, Longines world number one, back on this week after fourth place in Madrid, back to the Longines world number one and head of the Longines Global Champions Tour. What's the start? I mean, it started so well in Miami. Tell us about Hello Sanctos, for those here that don't know about that very good ride.
He's a wonderful horse, I must say. His strike rate from when he jumps to the amount of times he wins is phenomenal. He just really is a special horse. Last week we were very unlucky. He stumbled on takeoff at number one, had number one down, but he still finished fourth. So he's put us in the position we are today. And now I have a couple of different horses here this week and hopefully try and gain some more points.
And in terms of a bit of a battle, Daniel Deusser, the German rider, was world number one last month. You've grabbed it back again but it's still pretty close. How's the battle going to go?
It's very tough. Every month's a tough month, so yeah, you can't get too caught up in it. But there's so many top horses and riders out there that it will change around a lot throughout the year.
Well, Ben, you've been in that position as well, and you're going to be coming back at him, I know, with the string of horses you've got as well. I mean, both of you have won in London before now on the Longines Global Champions Tour, and yours, one of the most amazing jump-offs we've seen with Sella. Sella coming back in the next few weeks.
Yeah, Sella's had a long break, and her first show's actually next week in Windsor, so looking forward to having her back, and I think that helps the other horses in the team. A lot of the other horses I have are perhaps a little inexperienced and need some time. And always when you have that front runner like Scott has Santos, it just helps lift the whole team and the confidence within myself, the horses and everybody that works for us to have such an amazing horse. So hopefully she's coming back good.
And in terms of bringing the crowds here up to speed, I mean, you've spent much of the year so far in the United States, haven't you? How's that gone?
It's been good. Nice to be in one place at the same time, and good for my sponsors. Most of my owners are American now, so it's good to spend time there. Not as cold as in England. It's a great tour to produce the horses, and we definitely have 6-7 new horses that we didn't have last year right now. So it's still going to take some time to develop them, but very lucky to have the horses we have.
Well, it's been a battle before now between the two of you, between world number one and number two, with you both sitting there before. Scott, Sanctos not here this week. What are the horses that you've bought?
I have a up-and-coming horse, Hello My Lady, who I'll aim at the Grand Prix tomorrow. I think she's a very, very good up-and-coming horse, but still inexperienced yet. So we'll take each show as it comes. The other horse I have here, Hello Annie, is a little bit older horse, so she's got more experience, so she will jump the big classes Friday and Sunday. So yeah, fingers crossed we can do well here.
Absolutely. And Ben, this first class for all of you really is the first chance for the horses to see the arena and really get them ready for those classes to come.
Yeah, absolutely. I think some people, most people will be using this as a preparation for the Grand Prix tomorrow. The horse I'm riding, he's only 9 and he hasn't been around these type of environments before. So the more times I can get him in the ring, the better. And yeah, like Scott said, the sport will get going by this afternoon when the big money comes along.
And the two of you know are going to be big challengers all the week. Scott, who do you think is going to be the big name to come out this week? Who are the real danger ones?
It's a very hard question, actually. There's so many top horses and riders here that I think it will be very hard fought. And yeah, if there's 40 riders in it, there's definitely 35 capable of winning anyway.
Absolutely. Well, it's going to be a hard-fought battle all week here in Shanghai for the Longines Global Champions Tour. As they've already mentioned, we've got the best in the world here on the Longines World Ranking, so it's going to be a titanic battle. Last year, it was Peter de Vos who won the big Grand Prix here. Who will it be in 2015? We wait and see. We're just very close to the start of the first class this year here in China for the Longines Global Champions Tour, Leg 4 here in Shanghai.